The following program, Barber News with Toad, features a highly opinionated, overly caffeinated, and deeply sarcastic amphibian discussing all things barber-related. Toad is not a licensed barber, doctor, historian, or even a reliable source of information. He's a toad. All opinions expressed in this show are Toad's alone, and should absolutely not be taken as fact, unless you enjoy being misinformed by a creature that spends most of his life sitting in a swamp. If you're unsure about anything he says, please comment, fact-check, or consult an actual human barber before making any drastic hair or life choices. Toad's advice has resulted in questionable haircuts, unnecessary life advice, and relationship facts. You have been warned. Viewer discretion is advised. Now sit back, relax, and prepare for the most totally ridiculous barber news you've ever seen.
Did anyone catch the TPOB live last night? It was genuinely solid from start to finish. I watched the entire thing, and for once, it actually felt like a proper live. Yeah, there were a few strange or out there questions being thrown around, but to be fair, I think nearly every single one got answered. What stood out to me was how even some of the usual haters, the ones we know for a fact sit in Phil Blend's little private chats talking shit, were showing up in the comments, and surprisingly, they were being respectful. I won't lie, it was weird at first. But look, if someone's trying to switch up and show respect, I won't slate them for it. Growth is growth, and if you're showing up differently, you'll be treated differently. Simple as that. That said, there was one person in particular who showed up in the live. Someone both me and TPOB clocked straight away. I'll get into that later, because there's a lot to unpack there. I've got a lot to cover this week and even more to explain, especially with everything that's going on behind the scenes. But just before anyone starts jumping into my inbox or comment section asking about detachable clippers, go and watch the live. It's already posted, and everything you need to know on that topic is there. Read it, listen to it, understand it. As always, though, never rule anything out. Things are moving fast, and if you've been paying attention, you know TPOB doesn't do predictable. This is just the start.
Phil Blender, you're a fat little slut. Everyone knows you make pizza boxes for your dad. And your mom's on heroin. And your brother got in prison. Hey, the Lego man, your girl got pregnant by another man. I heard it was Toad on the face, he blew his load. Boo-hoo, little Lego man.
Today I want to review a clipper that's definitely different. Now, usually when I say something is different, that doesn't automatically mean it's a bad thing. Sometimes it just means unique, but in this case, it might actually be a problem. Let's take a closer look. So this brand recently released what they're calling an extended guard system for clippers. From what I can see, it's designed to let you adjust through multiple lengths, roughly from a half to a number 2, using one attachment instead of switching guards. Now, just being honest, in my opinion, I think it sucks. I've always preferred the reliability of using individual guards. With certain hair types, I like to dig in and apply pressure. And setups like this don't look like they'd hold up under that kind of work. Whether it's a stability issue or just the way it's built, it doesn't give off the confidence I'd want from a tool I use every day. That's just my perspective, though. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm always open to hearing different views on it. But now let's move on to the actual clipper this brand brought out, because that's where the real discussion begins. May I remind you, nothing annoys me more than seeing another brand try to take anything that belongs to TPOB. I genuinely get offended by it. I'll be reviewing other products in the future, and I won't even bring this kind of thing up if it's not there. But let's be real. Have you ever seen slime splashes or that distinct color scheme being used before TPOB came on the scene? The answer is no. So when I see a brand now doing that, using our colors, mimicking our style, it honestly fills me with rage. I'm going to do my best to stay professional while reviewing this, but I need to say this clearly. Can't anyone come up with their own identity anymore? You've got a guy named Wes, who clearly positions himself around tech. Cool, fair enough. So why not build something unique around that? Why default to copying TPOB's visual identity? To me, it just shows how limited some of these people are creatively. They don't innovate, they replicate. Anyway, that's all I'll say on that for now. Let's move on to the actual clipper they've released. I did mention in the past that I'd do a more detailed video on this, and this is it. This product genuinely fascinates me, but not in a good way. It's how completely pointless it is that grabs my attention. The lever is insanely long, and honestly, it looks like it would constantly get in the way during actual use. Then there's the blade attachment. It looks like metal, which is strange, but if it turns out to be plastic, that's just as weird. Either way, nothing about the design gives off the impression that this thing actually works or solves a real problem. It's clear what the idea behind this is, and I can understand the concept. But honestly, if it were a genuinely good idea, someone else would have done it already. I don't like to be overly harsh, but in this case, I have to be. It looks like a gimmick, and that's exactly what it is. At $160, I just don't see the value. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Alright, listen, I've been thinking about jumping into product reviews. Not that sugar-coated influencer bullshit where everything's amazing and life-changing. Nah, if it's trash, I'm gonna say it's trash. If it's good, I'll give it its flowers. But I ain't just gonna pick random shit. I want you to tell me what needs to get looked at. What's out there that people are pretending is good but deep down smells like disappointment? And if you think I'm just gonna sit here and say anything that's not TPOB is dog shit, you're wrong. I've got eyes, ears, and a fully functioning brain. Unlike some of these clowns getting paid to lie to you. So drop something in the comments. Let's see what's worth tearing apart. Alright, so here's the update. TPOB just confirmed it. The Architect blade is officially coming on the Go clipper. And not just that, it's shipping with 2 blades. Yeah, that old rumor? Not a rumor anymore? It's happening. He also mentioned the Play 2, dropping in 2026. Sounds like some future sci-fi shit, but I actually respect the honesty. Most brands wouldn't say a word till 3 minutes before launch. Now the Go trimmer and Go shaver? Sounds like they're coming real soon too. No messing around, but here's the bit that made me look twice. He said the first 1,500 units of the Go are gonna be like $95. That's fucking wild. That's not a price, that's an act of charity. So yeah, we've got a lot coming. You know what really blows my mind? The fact that the Go is getting boosted to over 9,000 RPM. That's insane. That's a serious amount of power. And paired with a completely redesigned blade? I mean, that's not just an upgrade. That's a full-on reinvention of what a clipper can be. This isn't just a refresh, it's a new tool, top to bottom. Everything's changed, the motor, the blade, the feel in your hand, and honestly, the more I talk about it, the more fired up I get. This isn't some gimmick. This is what happens when people actually give a shit about innovation and getting it right. I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing the reaction, the unboxings, the sound tests, the first cuts, watching how it handles bulk, fades, all of it. That's when we'll really know what it's made of. And look, we're already a week into August. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear an announcement any day now. Keep your goddamn eyes open. I did say, once the Go drops, I'm doing a giveaway. Might end up going with the funniest comment, maybe the one that gets the most likes. We'll figure that part out, but it's happening. Also, if there's something you want to see me review, drop it below. I'll check it out and make it happen. I'm not here to waste your time. If it's worth talking about, we'll get into it. That's it for today, Barbers. Catch me tomorrow before we roll into the weekend. And listen, if you haven't been keeping up with Barber news this week, go back and watch those episodes. You're missing more than you think. Alright, hit the like, drop a comment, and make sure you're subscribed. I'm out. Peace.